Hello and welcome to the September update. In this update we're going through some of the things I've been getting up to this month, including the finishing of the caravan park that you see in front of you and a lot of other work along the incline track and tunnel entrance. So I'll get stuck in about that now and I look forward to your comments. Cheers! Start at the caravan park area and I'll work my way back from the back scene to the front. The back scene has been fitted and it's an ID back scene and it's self-adhesive and it's applied onto a gloss white finished plywood. These back scenes do not take kindly to like bare ply, MDF or PVA painted surfaces, so you've got to seal it with a gloss finish. So varnish or gloss paint is what I've used. I've used a water-based gloss paint, undercoat and then several coats of gloss put on with a mini roller to give it a nice fine smooth finish, and then I just applied the back scenes to that. Moving forward slightly, you can see I've put trees in place there, and I've also got the lamp posts, so you'll see two of them there just behind the middle caravan. Moving further forward again, I've got the picnic tables sitting outside the caravans, and then in front of that I've got the four wire fence there, and it's a scale model scenery item. In front of that I've got the woodland scenic materials fine leaf foliage, which is applied with a blob of PVA onto the static grass, and I just press the fine leaf foliage in place. And the underbrush and bushes, which are kind of foam, colour fast, foam textured undergrowth from Woodland Scenics, I put PVA onto the surface of the baseboard or wherever I'm putting it, place it on, and it's quite loose and spongy, and then I lock it down with some Woodland scenic cement, and it takes maybe 24 hours, maybe a bit longer, just to fully kind of dry and harden. If I lift the camera up slightly, you'll see I've got the vehicles there. One's an estate Volvo and the other one's a Cavalier, so it's dating it into the 80s. And the yellow standpipe at the right hand side and the yellow fire hydrant at the left. And again, if you look just in front of the fire hydrant, you'll see a small yellow drain. I'll go around to the other side and I'll show you that in more detail. Moving slightly further along, you'll see the fence runs into the back scene, and I've put three well established trees there just to kind of blend it in with the back scene. And you notice underneath the trees there's no grass, it's more of a woodland floor with earths and whatnot. Some more sapling trees on the embankment, working away along, and this is going down the incline now. You can see how it blends in with the background and the ID back scene. If I take it down to track level, it gives a better idea. I roughly knew where the trees were on the back scene when I was putting in the foliage and that in front, just to try and blend it in. And I get to a part there where I've removed the back scene just for a minute, and I'll take you around the next bit to give you a better view. Looking closely in at the fire hydrant, you can see the small yellow drain cover there, which was painted with umbrella acrylics and then given a light brush with a dark earth weathering powder just to weather it down. This will be covered in my Caravan Diorama Series Part 4, so you want more details on the caravan park, go to that. Looking at the bottom of the incline, you can see on the right hand side I've gone and put scenic materials on the embankment, underbrush, bushes, fine leaf foliage from Woodland Scenics, and I've also got 5 trees there, 4 of which are my own seafoam trees with Gauge Master leaf scatters, and this little sapling tree there was straight from the fine leaf foliage box. Moving down, you'll see that I've got the tunnel mouth finished. It's been glued in position and it's had its stone capping fitted and also the wing walls. This was done by spraying grey primer onto the capping stones, then applying some dark grey Humbrol through an airbrush and then lightening it with whites and some browns to vary the stone shade. You might be able to pick out some darker and lighter stones on the top there, and these kind of capping stones here on top of the buttresses, they're kind of darker around in parts with lighter. The camera might not be picking it up just now because of fluorescent light, but it is there, and the same down on the wing walls at both sides. The only thing I've really got to do here now is blend the bottom of the wall in with some maybe coarse turf, some maybe small bushes, and put some exhaust soot stains on the entrance to the tunnel. This corner of the layout has been an ever-changing plan for me. It's never really come to a final idea. I had a school was my last idea, and before that I had you know, scrap yards and whatever. But it came to me the other day there that the downloads that I've got from scale scenes that I've had for a while, which is the warehouse factory unit, could go in here. And I've also got a low relief factory unit, which are downloadable kits, and I have used scale scenes kits heavily on this side of the layout, and on the other side of the layout I'm going to maybe focus more on the resin. But some people have asked, well, why are you making your next scale scenes or, you know, card kit? So what I'm going to do, I think, probably change my mind again, but I've kind of mocked up, this is the full height, I cut the original boxes too short, that's the full height of one of the units for the scale scenes factory warehouse. Obviously I've got 2 together, it'll be flat roofed, and then I might have another one jutting out here, and the white boundary there is where the fence would go. Okay, and this would be tarmac kind of waste area with you know, pallets and whatever outside, and I might have an entrance hatch there, or a shutter hatch around the other corner there. It's angled away from the back scene, because there'll be a small area again here, tarmac, maybe car parks or loading area, because you can basically adapt the kit to suit, you know, with the access doors and windows and that kind of stuff. And from the other side of the layout, looking from the main, you know, the main viewing area, this would look like an access road round the back, so it wouldn't like the road's going into, you know, nowhere. So that would be kind of access road round the back, and I would just again fence it off with some undergrowth foliage, some trees, and that would tie the area in here. Moving along to the other area, I had thought about putting allotments in here because I was going to base the factory on the Jenner's depository in Edinburgh, which is near Haymarket Station, and it's a red brick building with Jenner's written across it in letters. I was going to mimic that, so I might alter the configuration of this somewhat. And then next to it in real life are actually allotments just further along the line from Haymarket Depot, so I could have put allotments in there. Not too sure about this area yet. I might put a lower relief, not a flat relief, but a low relief factory unit or modern warehouse unit, and just separated by the fence, and then that would be fenced off from the level crossing. And it would obviously be security fence along the edge of the rail with bushes and you know, undergrowth and unkept ground. If I was doing the scale scenes or any other brand of card kit, it certainly would allow it to flourish a lot quicker. And I say I want this kind of corner of the layout done. I'm not rushing it, I've just thought about it for quite a while now, and I think I could be in business here, because if you look at it there, you know, the factory units and whatever, you're coming into the city. The factories tend to be at the edges of the, you know, the main town, if you like. So that would maybe fit in with the kind of Edinburgh theme as well, because I've obviously got the town scene at the opposite end of the layout, which is not yet built. So this is more the industrial area. As I develop this area, and as I complete the capping here, I'll then move forward to the scenic area here and round the corner, because everything really from that rail onwards is done, as you can see. This will be a raised section with an embankment, and on top of that will be, you know, factory units, industrial units, something like that, maybe even a post office depot, that kind of stuff. So that, again, it ties in with the industrial, more, you know, heavy industry part of the town. I'll very briefly cover the little detail that I've made for the caravan part, and these are steps, access steps to the static caravans, and it's just usually, you know, a one step and up kind of scenario just to help the people get into the caravan. And I've made these using 0.9mm wire that I've bent round a pair of pliers to get the kind of U shape, and then I've got a piece of plastic card and I've just super glued it to each end. They've not been painted up yet. I might keep the ends actual bare metal and I'll just paint the actual step. But I've made 3 of these and they'll go beside the static caravans to finish off that scene. That's really it for the 2nd September update. I hope you've enjoyed what I've been doing. I hope, like me, you think it's come together quite well. I'll be moving on further round the layout, but there's still little finishing touches to do on this part, such as putting the overhead masts back in that I had placed in position before, obviously working on the embankment. Didn't want to get them damaged. So all that's to go in, and the smaller details in and around the caravan parts to finish them off, and obviously the work on the stone capping on top of the walls, and then the undergrowth round about them. And as I move round to the you know, the girder bridge and round to the TMD, obviously things will move on and take shape. Thanks for watching. Cheers just now.